Hi everyone, welcome back. You're with AYS. My name is Joshna and we're going to learn how to get into a headstand. Having said that, I would like to remind you this is not a practice which you can do by yourself. It's better to have a teacher. Not better, it's good to have, and it's a must to have a teacher, if I should say that, to practice headstand, because it's something which is new to your system and new to your practice. So try not to just learn from this video. Please keep in mind this is for you to come back and refer to for the alignment points and trying to find that fine tuning your practice. Rather, if you're learning afresh from this, I would not recommend it. And also people with ailments, any medical conditions with your heart, lungs or your brain, I would recommend not to practice this without consulting a physician. So this is also something which is very important. So these 2 points, please keep that in mind before we begin the practice. Okay, and headstand is actually a fun practice. If you learn the right alignment technique, right way to get into the posture, it will be the most easiest practice you can ever come across. That sounds very kind of fancy, but really this is true, because the technique and alignment is the key to any posture. If you know that, it's actually a piece of cake. And also the fear to fall is high with a lot of us. So that's why which is stopping us from practicing headstand. But headstand is a very beneficial practice, and it's mentioned in many texts for all the million benefits it brings to your heart, to your circulation, to your lungs, to your brain. So it's one of my favorite asanas. And it's also called the king of asanas. So let's do certain postures to build up towards headstand, which will help to strengthen our upper back, our shoulders, our forearms, and having stable wrist, and also a little bit of a core strengthening practice. If you get all this done, your headstand will be easy. And also don't fret if you didn't get it in one day. It will take minimum commitment of 3 months daily practice with the right alignment technique and being patient with yourself. That's the key for headstand. Okay, let's begin the practice. Let's come up in all fours. So try to keep your knees directly below your hips, arms directly below your shoulders. Now as you inhale, you're going to lift your chin and chest up, look up, arch your back. Exhale, you round your back, chin to your chest. Inhale, arch your back. Having that spinal mobility is very important to any practice. So if you're going upside down, we try to do this a couple of times to warm up our whole of our spine, so we know that we are ready for this practice. And also if you have had any spinal injuries, if you have had any neck injuries, I would recommend not to practice this before consulting your doctor or your yoga teacher. Do it a little bit more. So this is a practice when you inhale, you lift your chest. Exhale, drawing your navel in, chin to your chest. Now lift your chin up. Now you're going to move your shoulders forward, feeling the weight on your wrist, and come back just to feel how stable your hands are, forearms. Just gentle movement, activating the muscles in your forearm and your wrist. Now you can go to the sides. Just feel what happened in your shoulder, and I'm not fully dropping my chest down. I'm a little bit like lifting my chest in and trying to protract the shoulders. That means you're rounding your upper back a little bit, and then you're doing these movements and you're engaging your core. So these tiny details will actually help you into your headstand practice. All right, let's start small circles. So go on your clockwise direction, activating that shoulder muscles, and anti-clockwise direction. 2, 3, push back into child's pose. This is a counter posture for headstand. So as soon as you come down from headstand, you will be in this posture without lifting your head up. So stay and get comfortable here. Now inhale, come back up. So if you want to have a little bit more warm up, you can start with some Surya Namaskar and then come to this video. You can pause it here, do a video, do a Surya Namaskar practice and then come back. Now you're going to tuck your toes, lift your hips up, try to straighten your legs to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog is a very good foundation for headstand. It allows your body to perceive the inverted movement here. Now from here I want you to exercise some awareness in your shoulders. Try to drop your head down and pull your shoulders closer to yours and then drop again, pull. So this kind of gives you that understanding of what is required in a headstand. In a headstand, always your ears and the shoulders should not be close. So now we are doing this where our ears are closer to the shoulder, and the opposite is to drop in where your shoulders are away from your ears. Try to get that movement. Good. Now we're going to slowly transition into plank. Inhale, come to plank. Hold the breath. Exhale. Draw that belly in, send your hips up. It's okay if you can't press your heels down. Straighten your legs. Head down towards your knees. Inhale again, come to plank. Exhale, draw the belly in. Try to keep your knees straight. If you feel your hamstrings are hurting, you can bend your knees a little. Inhale, come to plank. Exhale, draw your belly in. You can bend your knees if you want, but try to send your hips up. So don't come forward with your chest, rather try to push your chest towards your thighs, drawing your belly in, straightening your legs. 3 breaths here. 2, and slowly again you're going to drop down to child's pose to rest. Inhale, slowly sit up. Great. So now your shoulders are a little warmed up. You're going to focus on how we can go up in headstand using the strength of your abdomen. So we're going to do the process here before we go upside down. So stretch your legs out in Dandasana. Bend your right knee. Use your hand. Hug your right knee to your chest. Lift your toes up. So you can feel that your arms are actually pressing it into your chest and you're lifting your chest up. Stay and breathe here. 4, 3. Try to keep your spine straight if you can. If you're rounding it here, try and lengthen from here, lifting up, drawing your belly in. Now release your hands. Keep it on the floor. Touch your toes on the mat. Now try to lift your toes and hold it here. Keep your chest open. 5, your knees pointing up. 4, 3, 2, and come back. Take your left leg. Again, try to hug. Lift your legs up. Draw your belly in. Stay here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Place your feet on the floor, release your hands, take it in the back. Try to lift your legs up, and you have to focus on squeezing the knees towards your chest. Point your toes. So this is very important when it comes to headstand practice. The bent knee with your knees pointed. Toes pointed away from you. 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly come back. Good. Now bend both your knees, hug your knee to your chest, lift your toes away if you can. See if you can balance on that sit bone. If you can't, you can press your top of your foot and try to hug tight, lift your chest up. Stay here. 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Slowly you're going to keep your feet on the toes on the floor, hold your feet on the outside, lift your legs up. So keep your knees pressing to your chest, knees together. 5. If this is difficult, hold your ankles. 4, 3, 2 and slowly down. All this will help to understand how much we can squeeze the knees towards our chest. This is the preparatory pose towards headstand. So this is very important. Now we warmed up a little bit of our core and also a little bit of our shoulders. Let's see if we can try to go up in headstand. And in headstand, the one important thing is you have to always imagine there is a teeny tiny slice of paper between your knees. So you're going to keep that knees together, but not like squeezing so hard that it actually hurts your knee. Not that hard, just lightly, like always engaging that inner thighs. That's the key here. Now we're going to go into a dolphin position where you start in Vajrasana. Keep your hands with your fingers holding your elbows. Now try to place your hands closer to your knees, and then you're going to move your arms slightly forward. So maybe 1 feet, 2 feet forward, right? And then interlock your fingers. Make that last pinky finger go in, because you might hurt the fingers if you press it too hard on the floor. So just take it in here and try to place it on the floor. Now you're going to tuck your toes, draw the belly in, and we're going to lift the hips up. So keep looking forward towards, I'm going to look at the towel I have in front of me. So that's your dharana, your focus point. Now just lift your hips up. You can keep your feet together or 1 feet apart, whichever is comfortable for you. Now again you're going to focus and stay here for few breaths, pushing the chest in. Drop your head down. Breathe here. 5, 4, 3, 2 and slowly you're going to go forward. Touch the towel with your nose, come up. Exhale down, touch the towel, come up. If you feel your arms are moving away, again adjust your elbows in, go forward, touch and come up. Forward, touch, come up. Forward, exhale, inhale, come up. 3 more. 2 and 1. Now slowly drop your knees down, chest towards the floor, head towards your knee, head down. Inhale, sit up. Fantastic. If it was difficult for you, do it 5 times and then take a break, do another 5. So it's very important that you go touch the towel. This is actually a beginner's version. To be more, to improve your strength of your arms, you actually have to go with your chin to the floor. I'm going to show you that, and you can watch once and then you can practice. So in this, the most common thing is to keep the hips higher. Don't drop it down. Exhale, chin down, inhale, come up. Exhale, chin down, inhale, come up. Exhale, inhale, and drop your knees down. So whenever you do a dolphin, it's better to stay in child's pose, because for this video, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go into the next movement, for this is half headstand. So here it's very important to understand how to place your head. So there are 3 different points you can actually place in your head. You can place the front, the middle, slightly in the back. But most of the time it's more comfortable to place not in the front, rather between the front and the middle area. So this area. So that way your chin is not really fully squeezing, or you're not in this position, so your spine gets a little bit of a stability, your neck. Otherwise your neck gets a lot of load. So find your comfort space and place your head accordingly. If you can take a picture of yourself and see if your chin is crooked or you're doing this, then you need to just adjust your position. Once you do that, we'll go into the next step. So first find your head position, try to find that space, place it down. Now you're going to tuck your toes, lift your knee up. So when you do that, lift your heels up as well. And now the focus point is on your shoulders. Watch if your shoulder is falling to your ears, like what I'm doing right now. If that's the case, I want you to pull the shoulders back and away from the ears. That means you're taking the shoulders towards the sky. So when you do that, you can feel your elbows are having a lot more stability and a lot more connection to the ground. If you're here, it's easy to move your elbows. But if you're with your shoulders up, you can't move your elbows away from the floor. That's the key point here. So once you get this done, you tuck your toes, draw your belly in, lift your legs up, squeeze your thighs. So stay here. So now most of us will be with the heels towards the floor. I want you to draw your belly, heels towards the sky. So you're coming up on your toes. Now you can walk slightly forward and you stay here and as long as you feel comfortable. At least 10 breaths and do it 2 or 3 rounds before you actually try to go up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. If you want to rest, you can go back to rest or you can continue from here. Bend your right knee. The same thing which we did, hug it to your chest. When you hug it to your chest and point the toe up to the sky, you become very light. Your other leg slowly lifts up by itself. Stay here, keep the shoulders up, abdomen sucked in. 3, 2, and slowly you can bring your other leg up, but keep hugging your knees to your chest. So that's when you get into a half headstand position. Keep your squeezing your thighs, toes pointing up. Now with that, don't straighten your legs, but just lift your knees up. That means your feet will feel like going back. So if this is difficult for you, do it with the wall, so you will not feel like you're going to fall. The focus is to lift your shoulders up and try to stay here for few breaths. It's all about finding the balance. It's not about how fast you can go into headstand. So just focus on finding the balance. And then you try and straighten your legs. So here I have an active engagement in my legs. I'm not squeezing them real hard, rather I'm keeping them together. So I find the line of gravity and align myself with that center line. So it becomes easy to stay there for a longer period of time. And keep your toes pointed up. And when you want to come back down, bend your knees. First drop your heels back. Draw your knees towards your chest. And slowly drop your toes. Relax your knees on the floor. Head down towards the floor, child's pose. It's very important to stay in child's pose at least for 10 breaths before you lift your head up.
And also, if you've never tried headstand before, there are few steps before actually lifting the legs up. You get into that place and I'll make your alignment correct, like lifting your shoulders up, drawing your belly in, keeping your thighs together. Now slowly sit up.
Fantastic. So this is a headstand tutorial, but then there are different ways to go in there. Start very slowly, just do dolphin practice. Do 25 rounds, 5 take a break, 5 take a break, do it 5 times, you get to 25, and slowly try to hold in that dolphin position upside down for 10 breaths. Make sure you're comfortable, make sure your shoulders can actually hold your weight. If your shoulders come to your ears and goes to your neck, you try to avoid that by pulling the shoulders back. So that way you will strengthen your shoulders and upper back. For that, you need a little bit more practice if you're a beginner. If you're an intermediate practitioner, if it's fear for you for headstand, you can put 2 cushions. And even if you fall, you're going to fall on the cushion, and there is a technique to fall. So there's a lot to cover in this video. But if you'd like to learn headstand and practice it, you can always DM us. We could have a one-to-one class or a workshop based on that if we have more people. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please practice a safe headstand, and do not learn headstand from a video. Take a teacher's guidance and correct yourself by looking at this video. And for me personally, to motivate you, I would say 3 months, but I learned it very young. Even though I was very young, I had a lot of fear. My headstand I was always afraid of falling, like all of us. So accommodate that fear, let it be. In one day, just because I'm telling you conquer your fear, you will not be able to conquer it. It takes time. Fall. It will come in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. But why are we in a hurry, right? We can do it at a pace where our body is comfortable, where mind is comfortable, at the same time challenging it a little bit more. So if you have a teacher who can guide you through this, it becomes super easy and super comfortable, who you can trust. That's very important. So find a teacher and practice this, and I hope you enjoy this video. I'll see you in the next one with an amazing asana to learn. Bye.